What is globalization? What is your understanding?
Businesses are increasingly seeking managerial talent with the skills to assess global trends and force global strategies.
Globalization and production.
The International MBA experience is for students who look beyond traditional educational boundaries. An International MBA will help you to develop the business competencies, cultural skills, and global mindset essential for success in your global endeavors.
Massive globalization.
Students in the International MBA program are given the opportunity to strengthen foreign language skills, expand cultural understanding, and to gain hands-on working experience through study abroad and/or overseas internships, experiences unique in graduate programs.
The International MBA program is really unique, and there are not very many of them that exist in the United States. Because in addition to teaching the students all the business courses, the International Business program also incorporates foreign language of a country, knowledge of the country and geography and history and politics of that country, and business practices of that country. And not only we teach those students all about that in the United States, but we ask these students to spend 6 months in that country so that they can perfect their knowledge of the language, so that they can learn about the history, geography, people, and culture of their society, so that they can engage in the business practices of that country.
Business is totally globalized now. So one could argue in one way that why have an IMBA program where every MBA program should be really global in its nature. But here's a difference with the conceptualization we have of an IMBA program. We are not just making executives comfortable with doing business globally and doing the explicit learning part of what global business is all about. We are also training them to be extremely comfortable in living in foreign countries. So in our IMBA program, we require students to know a foreign language. We require students to go spend a summer term outside working in foreign companies. We require students to be in another university in a foreign country for 1 semester. So again, they've been delving deep into the foreign culture and understanding the foreign culture, being sensitive to the foreign culture.
Almost 200 million people.
I wanted to travel. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, but there were a lot of things, like the courses and everything really appealed to me, and the study abroad definitely was probably the #1 thing.
Look at the size of this country.
I've loved it. It's been incredibly challenging, but you have to expect that at an MBA level, which is another thing that is really appealing about the International MBA program at the University of Memphis is the connections and the study abroad programs that they have with other schools. They're with seriously the most prestigious universities in the world.
What do you think when massive globalization happened?
I think one of the greatest things is that you're in such a small class environment that you really can have one-on-one opportunities with a lot of your teachers. You get to know the people in your class very well.
I think it is a new age program, this International MBA program. It is a program that incorporates the skill that will be needed. They are needed even today, but they certainly will be needed more so in 5 to 10 to 20 years. And so I would say that people thinking about doing business do not need to think about doing business in the United States, but need to think about doing business globally, because companies that are successful are going to be so by expanding overseas.
Top professors, amazing people to be around and to stay with on a day-to-day basis. You become like a family, and it's really great. And then once you make this family, you get to go abroad, and then we can all come back and share the experiences together.
Part of the reason we are doing this International MBA program in University of Memphis is that we were very fortunate and worked very hard to earn a designation called Center for International Business Education and Research, in short, CIBER, C-I-B-E-R. Right now there are 31 of them, including the University of Memphis. Some of the other institutions are something like Wharton at the University of Pennsylvania, Columbia University, Duke University, UCLA, University of Texas, University of Michigan, And so these are some of the very fine institutions in the United States that have earned this grant and have been continuing this process for the last 20 years. The grant was created by the US Congress because the US Congress wanted to change the education system in the United States by suggesting that not only we prepare executives for doing business in the United States, but also to do business around the globe. And what is required to do business around the globe is to know the language, know the customs, know the culture, know the geography, know the business practices of foreign countries.